I want to give my cardiologist perspective to the session which is going on, and to start with, let's share a case scenario. Isha, an entrepreneur, a known case of chronic kidney disease. She has been doing fine from last 5 years, but recently she started complaining of shortness of breath and fatigue. Now, this was her symptoms, which started for about 2 weeks. When the symptoms change like this for the patient, the first question that comes to our mind is there something else wrong than the condition itself, or is it the deterioration of the condition per se? So let's see what we find on the investigations. We find that ejection fraction has dropped to 28%. Her creatinine level were by and large the same at 2.1, EGFR at 36, and BP was fine. So the main thing was that she is in heart failure. Now, what do we do? In patients who have heart failure with reduced ejection fraction, like Isha, our choice is between starting them on ACE inhibitors or ARBs, or starting them on ARNI. Let us see what the data says. But prior to that, let's see what happens during CKD that causes chronic heart failure. Well, we all know that CKD stage 1 and 2, there is a glomerular or interstitial and interstitial changes that occur, which may be because of diabetes, hypertension, some primary nephropathy like nephrotic syndrome, and chronic inflammation. Now, as patients go on to stage 3 and 4, there occurs sclerosis or fibrosis of the kidney, causing anemia, chronic release of uremic toxins, inflammation, electrolyte imbalance. And as the things go on deteriorating to stage 5 and 6, there is also cytokine production in addition to all these things, endothelial dysfunction, LDL oxidation, oxidative stress, atherosclerosis, and so on. And all these things, they cause the dysfunction of the heart, because of, we call it basically a chronic renocardio syndrome. The primary cause is renal, but secondarily it has affect the heart. So, 7 out of 10 patients with the CHF, at the start of dialysis, they start to, once the dialysis is started, the uremia part goes down, the heart function becomes stabilized. It is like they do have some symptoms, but by and large, there is control in the heart failure. But at that time, in case we are able to start some drugs which can further improve the heart failure, the patient gets the benefit over and above the dialysis part there. Incidence of heart failure was threefold higher in individuals which have a EGFR less than 60. And of course, the prevalence of congestive heart failure increases as the renal function deteriorates. And with the end stage renal disease, it is to the tune of about 60 to 75%. Well, as the survival in heart failure and CKD patient decreases with, in case it is not controlled, as the time goes by, the survival in these patients go on decreasing. So, how do these newer therapies they help in managing heart failure with CKD? Well, we give these patients beta blockers, and we give these patients RAS inhibited drugs, which are well validated during heart failure, and 75% of dialysis patients with reduced ejection fraction are not they are generally not recommended a good dose of beta blocker and ACE inhibitor combination. So why? Because they people are scared of hypotension and hyperkalemia. Well, the newer heart failure regimes now they play a key role in improving these patients who have CKD in addition to the heart failure. Well, the recent ACC 2021 consensus recommendation, they tell us that now ARNI is actually the first line of drug to be started in patients who have heart failure with reduced ejection fraction. And so it is a direct to ARNI approach rather than first starting on ACE inhibitors, ARBs, and if they are not working, then switching them on to ARNI. That is no more the scenario. ARNI delivers simultaneous inhibition of neprosilin activity and RAS. So it decreases the neprosilin activity, causing vasodilatation, natriuresis, and diuresis, and it decreases the RAS activation, causing vasoconstriction, sodium retention, and decreasing the vasoconstriction, decreasing sodium retention, and decreasing the fluid retention. So as a whole, there is a fall in the there is a decrease in the blood pressure, and there is a target organ protection with enhancement of the natriuretic peptide system, which could act as a potentially beneficial counter-regulatory system in states of RAS activation, such as chronic heart failure and CKD. So overall, ARNI improves the clinical outcome of CKD patient by reducing the cardiovascular death, reducing the heart failure hospitalization due to worsening of heart failure and end-stage renal disease. And it also improves the GFR in the real-time patients, which is very positive effect of ARNI. In addition to that, there is a significant improvement in the ejection fraction of these patients as we go around in time to keep the patients on ARNI and do a follow-up echo. Plus, there is 14% reduction in cardiovascular death because, or heart failure hospitalization due to worsening of heart failure in patients of CKD and reduced ejection fraction. Cardiovascular mortality and death is decreased in patients who are sicker patients, which means who are in CKD stage 4 to 5. Now, keeping in mind the probability of symptomatic hypotension, well, this is one thing which scares us a lot, but we need to manage it with a balanced approach. It is a challenge, and it is if the patients with reduced ejection fractions have hypotension, then they are associated with poorer outcome. And often what we need to do is we just need to modify the therapy a little bit. Let's see how we do it. If patients have hypotension and RAS inhibitors, because of RAS inhibitors, what happens is that the patient with heart failure have activated neurohormonal systems like renin-angiotensin, aldosterone system, sympathetic nervous system, endothelin. So RAS inhibitors, beta blockers, MRAs, and vasodilators are the drugs that are started in these patients. They antagonize these effects and reduce the afterload, thus relieving the cardiac work, hence causing the lower blood pressure. And these neurohormonal system also cause vasoconstriction. So hence for actually the lower BP in patients, in such patients, is actually a marker of that the treatment is actually effective in these patients. So take a very balanced approach, stepwise approach, to see whether the low BP that we are saying is associated with symptoms. In case they are associated with symptoms, then maybe looking at other causes of hypertension, or looking at the diuretic doses. I hope you're not over diuresing the patient. So totally looking at this, and clinical profile has to be measured. This is an algorithm which can be used to see and evaluate hypertension and then optimize it. Well, the decision tree for this heart failure with reduced ejection fraction, you have to look at the dose of diuretics. Please do see if the patient is not in congestion. You don't need to give a higher dose of diuretic. You need to give a very minimal dose of diuretic, and do a full clinical evaluation of the patient. Look at the kidney function again if it has not gone down further, but whether the patient is in hyperkalemia again, whether you have given too much of beta blockers and over control the heart rate. If it is less than 60, that can be one reason why a patient feels very bad about this. Look at any arrhythmia history. A patient may not be having very frequent ventricular ectopic activity, which may be causing hypertension. So all these have to be looked up, and then the doses can be adjusted. And in case you feel that patients are symptomatic with hypertension, well, then you can, in fact, reduce the dose of ARNI in case need be. Most of the time, it is not required. And there is 27% reduction in the risk of symptomatic hypertension after switching to ARNI in the hospitalized patients who have reduced ejection fraction. There is low, even if there is BP is on the lower side with ARNI, the risk of death is actually low as compared to if we are not giving ARNI or you're giving any other drug apart from ARNI in these patients. Uh, well, as far as the compliance of the patient is seen for ARNI, there is no significant increase in the rate of discontinuation of the therapy because of the hypertension related adverse effects. Because generally, these patients are not symptomatic, with even if the BP is borderline like 90 by 60, they tolerate it very well. So, and the hospitalization, of course, goes down. So, just looking briefly again into all these things, step one is you look at the patient that he is not over diurized or volume depleted. Look at the dietary therapy, salt therapy, whether the patient is having diarrhea or vomiting. Do the doses adjustment, especially of diuretics and concomitant antihypertensive therapy if you are giving centrally acting antihypertensive agents. Or you're giving drugs like calcium channel blockers, then try to reduce them. And if there is hypovolemia, try to treat that. So if hypertension still persists, then maybe you can either decrease or temporarily do this, but this step is mostly not required. So, in summary, we conclude that in CKD patients who develop heart failure with reduced ejection fraction, time is very essential to initiate RNA for better clinical outcomes in these patients. And improvement in EGFR occurs with them. There is reduced in the cardiovascular event rate and hospitalization because of worsening of heart failure in the real world setting. And switching to RNA shows that reduction is there in the incidence of symptomatic hypertension in patients with reduced ejection fraction. Thank you so much for your patient hearing.